And welcome to Cruising with Kayfabe, Bob Mongo.
I'm Emily, and today we have Rachel joining us because what are we doing today, Mongo?
We're talking about AEW Revolution 2025, and it's not a prediction show without Smokey and Rachel, and Smokey's too cool to join us here tonight. And I'm just kidding, Smokey. So we have Rachel instead, so we can talk about this pay-per-view that is going to be epic.
That it is. I'm excited.
So I guess before we get into the matches, Rachel, I know you guys have gone to Dynasty before, you've gone to pay-per-views before. So how are you feeling seeing this card built up? Are you excited for this pay-per-view? Are you ready? Is there one particular match you're like, this is the match I want to see?
Yes, I think that they have built it up really well. I'm excited to see a couple of the matches. Always excited to see Ospreay and Fletcher because I think that's just an always going on thing between each other. So I also want to see how it plays out with Mariah May and Toni Storm. So, but yeah, I think this is really good. I've always thought that their pay-per-views have always been good. Like it's never been, that wasn't good or whatever. They've always known how to, do it right to where more like you keep coming back. So,
right. It's like that. We're a glutton for punishment, so to speak.
Yeah.
So 10 matches including the pre-show. So I think they found their sweet spot. There's not too many matches where it feels like it goes on for 17 hours, but there's not like 3 where you're like, oh, there's only 4 matches on this 4-hour show, like a certain other place. So I think it's a good sprinkle in. And 0 hour, we haven't even gotten all the matches, but we start off with a bang. We start off Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Big Boom AJ against MXM and Johnny TV. So are we calling them MXM TV?
I like it. I'm just disappointed in you.
Why?
It's going to be a bang of a match. I think it's going to be a boom.
A boom of a match.
A boom of a match. Hey.
That's my dining. That is your dining room in the background. That is. I believe that's also your equipment.
You are correct.
And your lovely partner Rachel as well. So there's a lot of.
Yeah.
Sometimes, thankfully, we at least I know how to click the mouse at least once or twice. So we got that figured out. But I was saying, Jeff, before we got on air that you hear me sad because I finally figured out how to get the pictures to show up the way I want them, so they're not little tiny picture. But we have Jeff coming in with his prediction, Orange Boom with the win. But we're still going to go first with Rachel. So we're going to do Rachel, Emily, and Mongo in this round. So Rachel, who do you think? Do you think that the conglomeration is going to win or MXM TV?
Well, I think that I don't like Big Boom. I really don't. I just don't. But I think it's because he tries really hard and he's not a wrestler. God love him. And I love Orange Cassidy and Briscoe. So I'm going to go for them only because I always go with my heart. But I think that Johnny TV is going to win it. I think he's going to end up winning it.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
We got an MXM TV fan going here. Instead of I want my MTV, I want my MXM TV. I already broke her, and it's 5 minutes in. Not even. All right.
All I can think about is those poor children being on 16 and pregnant or something.
Oh, man. Yeah, how wild. MTV went from my super sweet 16 to 16 and pregnant. They kind of had a little bad timeline there after all.
And now all of those kids are 16.
Awkward.
And still on TV.
Wow.
Imagine growing up like that, though. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Derailed. I think that Orange Cassidy, they're taking this only because I know that they had plans with Big Boom, not to sign him or anything like that, like not starting rumors, but they had plans with him to continue to grow their 0 hours. I feel like it makes sense to continuously promote someone from YouTube on YouTube.
And TikTok.
And TikTok, yeah. Like, he has such a presence that are with different fan bases. Like, my coworkers are younger than me by, like, they could have been on 16 and
she's
pregnant.
Old, she's tired, and she works for fucking children.
So, with having, like, younger coworkers and stuff, they know who he is, but they didn't know he wrestled the match. I got to tell them, hey, he's actually part of my favorite promotion now. Like, I got to talk wrestling.
All right, so you're saying the conglomeration and Big Boom are winning over MXM TV?
Yes.
All right,
I'm going with Orange though. Like that's the big key to this. Orange freaking Cassidy
See,
is shining.
I think Rachel hit it best though. I'm going for Mark Briscoe. That dude's insane. And we have TV who have that like goofy. So this is going to be a goofy, silly, fun match. I mean, you got Big Boom AJ, who's larger than life, like you were just saying. You have Orange Cassidy, who's going to do some funny shit and like barely try not. And then you have Mark Briscoe, who's going to be like, the word of the day is Big Boom. Like it's going to be hilarious. I can't wait. But yeah, I think Big Boom and Orange Cassidy are going to win. So the Con Gloom Boomeration. I don't know. They need a name. It's hard to say all three of their names all the time. But then we start getting into it. So let's see what we have here first. So first up, I just kind of did it randomly. Okada versus Brody King for the Continental Championship. So, Rachel, who do you think? Do you think that Okada retains his title, or do you think Brody King finally gets some gold around his waist?
I think Okada's going to keep it. I don't think that he's had it long enough, like, to make a statement for us to, like,
true,
remember who he is or to do something big. So I think he's one of the ones that is going to keep his belt tonight. I don't think Brody King's going to win.
I like it. What about you?
I'm making sure I go back to what I wrote. When did I do this?
Way to prepare.
I know. I just don't want to. So the last time I kind of like feel like I cheated. So I'm trying to go by the normal ones.
Well, I guess I'll go while you're looking for yours. So I think Okada is going to win this one as well. I agree with Rachel. I think he's got a plan for the Continental Championship, and there's rumors that they want to merge the Continental Championship with the International title. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's nice having two mid-card titles, but I guess the whole too many title thing come into play. But I want Okada to win it because I think it's that title. He should go into the tournament next year, so that way whoever wins the tournament, maybe beats Okada, gets that mega push because they dethroned Okada in his tournament, essentially. So I want to see Okada retain. I think he will.
I'm the opposite. I want to see Brody take this. I want to see House of Black or House of Heart.
Hounds of Hell.
Whatever they are, they're great. And I love watching everything that they're doing. Every piece of them is just like, it's always been there. I feel like they've always really dominated subtly, if that makes any sense. I want to see Brody take this. I want to see maybe Julia defeat Mercedes. Maybe she's the one. And then I could definitely see You're talking
to the mic.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely see Buddy just getting a title.
Yeah.
Maybe the International. Yeah.
No, I think that would be good. Again, yeah, they've always kind of had gold somewhere in that faction, whether it's Julia, and I think they're always going to go for gold, so I agree. Jesse brings up a good point that we might get hit on later, that Okada versus Omega's been teased for All In. So I think that's definitely a good, precursor. But Brody could win because he could shock the world because they've been pushing all three of them like crazy, like you just said. So yeah, that is very valid. We have Jeff saying Okada, so you're lone wolf on this one.
I'll take it. I'm with good company
Okada
as far as Brody is concerned.
So yeah, you're definitely. Yeah. But you know what? If you're right and everyone's wrong, you're gonna be like, "Ha! Look who's right."
Do you have your percentages?
Percentages right now, I do not. So when I get to this next match, when you or Rachel are talking, I can pull it up and I can swing back to it. So, as unfortunately Rachel and I have to hear all the time, let's circle back to that. So we're going to go on this next one because this has a lot of implications. So we have Swerve versus Ricochet. The winner is essentially the number one contender. Now, last year, Rachel and Jeff got to see Swerve capture the title live at Dynasty. So you got to think whoever wins this is probably going to go to Dynasty and be getting that title shot. So, Rachel, do you think Swerve becomes number one contender and goes back to Dynasty to recapture that magic? Or do you think Ricochet continues his menacing ways and goes to get his first title shot at Dynasty? And it's in Philly, so Ricochet is from Philly, so keep that in mind.
Ooh. I think this is going to be a rough match. Like, I think there's going to be blood. I think that they're going to bring out a lot of stuff. I think it's going to be dirty. But I really would like to see Ricochet win because he really is a good wrestler. And I think that he could possibly beat Swerve. But I still see Swerve going. I do. I see Swerve holding the title again because he did good the first round. So I can see it coming back around for him. So yeah, I'm going to go with Swerve.
This Adam's thinking Swerve's going to get some hair cut off. That would be pretty deranged. But I mean, they've had a pretty bloody feud.
Yes.
And then we have Swerve. So we have a lot of Swerve. So Emma, is it whose house or
Whose house? Whose house for sure. I think that they need to continue to build Ricochet as an underdog. I think that it's working for him to be underestimated because he always does pull through and he shocks everyone. It's going to be a hell of a match. It's just that Swerve is going to pull it out.
So you think Ricochet is going to do it?
No, it's Swerve.
Swerve, okay. For that percentage, it's 75-25. 75 Swerve and 25% Ricochet. And to answer your Okada one, 80% went for Okada and 20% went for Brody King. So
I wasn't alone.
You were not alone out of 25 responses. So it's still a decent amount of responses.
Way to think positive.
If Ricochet wins this because, oh yes, that is a good one. Prince Nana, could he turn heel?
He goes with the jacket?
That's right. And with the embassy, for a lot of those who don't know, the embassy, the jacket when Jimmy Rave had it, it wasn't just always about Jimmy Rave. It was kind of whoever Nana was kind of putting the shine on at the time. So if Nana doesn't think Swerve's up to snuff and he doesn't think he's the man to hold that title again, maybe he says, you know what, Ricochet took this jacket and made me proud. That could happen. That Swerve. Look at that. We got Jesse in there, pulling out the stops. Adam saying Swerve is such a giving guy. He knows he has to put Ricochet over. So that's a good point too. And then we also have Swerve. I mean, not Swerve. We also have almost everyone saying Swerve. So, I mean, I think Swerve going to Dynasty again makes sense. But again, Ricochet going to Philadelphia.
Jeff.
See, Jeff's going to be lone wolf on this one, but it makes sense. Ricochet going to Philadelphia, going to where he's from, getting a title shot at Dynasty. I like that one.
Maybe they need another match.
I'm definitely saying Swerve as well. I would love Ricochet, but I got to pick with my heart. I got to say Swerve just because I think Dynasty, like each pay-per-view almost has like a person that's attached to it in some sort of way. I feel like Dynasty is going to be Swerve's pay-per-view. So I feel like what better way to run it back to have Swerve go for that title. Even if he doesn't win it, go for that title shot at Dynasty, kind of putting that pay-per-view on the map even more. So
I think an important part.
Triple threat. That's a good one.
When we were on the cruise, Ricochet really played up that heel too. So I want to give him props for that because we haven't really seen that since MJF.
True.
Agreed. Yeah.
When he put the wig on.
Yeah. Like he really put forth a lot with that. It was kind of awesome actually.
And everybody gets the cruise rub. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wins, but I think in a real match, like Swerve's going to whip his ass,
Oh, yeah.
So I still think he's going to win. I think they're going to put him back in it. He was good as a champion. Everybody likes Prince Nana. How can you not?
I know. I love Prince Nana. I wish he was back on the boat because he was so fun on the fifth cruise. Even if he did kind of insult me by saying I was practicing when jumping on concrete the entire time for the belly flop, still, at least I got roasted by Prince Nana. Speaking of roasted, I got to try his coffee sometime. I heard good things about it. That was a good segue. Come on. So this match, I'm not going to lie. If there's a match everyone's like, oh, is there one that I'm not really, I'm excited because I like to see Momo, but Mercedes Mone TBS Championship against Momo Watanabe, and I apologize if I said that incorrectly. Momo won the tournament back in January, and she had to pick which champion she wanted to face. She faced a winner from CMLL. She faced a winner from AEW and Ring of Honor, and she chose Mercedes because Mercedes got in her face at Grand Slam. So is it going to be the CEO, or do you think Momo can shock the world, Rachel?
No. Momo is not shocking the world. No. There's somebody out there. I have a feeling that, like, now that I'm thinking about all this, like Julia Hart could be the one. What if they all come back, and that's the big group, So, but no, I think, no, Mercedes is going to win. I don't think it's her time yet. Plus, she needs to lose. Like, there has to be, I just don't think Momo's ready for that level. So, yeah, I go with Mercedes.
Makes sense. It almost kind of feels like it's just setting up for her next feud. It's kind of like a holdover.
Yes.
She just had a match on Collision with Serena Deeb, right?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
So she just had her match on Collision with Serena, and I enjoy that they actually showcase who they're going to be putting on.
No, it's good when they go on Collision and they're able to kind of feature them, and like when they do Forbidden Door, they do like a go home show, and that's kind of what a go home should be. It should be show like Stephanie Vatcourt when she wrestled on Dynamite before she wrestled at Forbidden Door.
You're welcome, WWE.
Well, that's one good thing with them kind of bringing people in and out. Yeah, they get featured in other spots, but Mercedes and Momo's first match was really, really, really good. I definitely advise you to go on YouTube, check it out. It's going to be a good match. It's just it's predictable, so I think that's why I'm not as excited for it, because I think we all know Mercedes is going to win. One person out of 25 picked it on our pick'ems, and that's probably just because I'm guessing it's Alex, because he does not like Mercedes.
So, question: is this the match, or not this match, but this contendership? Was that the match that we watched on our way home from Collision?
Yes, when they won.
Oh my gosh, the in and out
Dynasty
service of trying to watch a pay-per-view in another country at the ass crack of midnight,
driving through the backwoods of North Carolina.
Yeah,
really want to see I think Tay and Sky, and also Anna Jay. I think Anna Jay should get in the mix of the TBS title. I think Mercedes should be elevating more talent, and who knows who she set up for Dynasty. I mean, you have Harley Cameron, who should still get a rematch. You have Anna Jay, who's put in the work of Stardom.
And now that we have Momo here, maybe we can get her again at Forbidden Door against someone else. Maybe we get her with CMLL.
Her and Mina versus someone. Or a triple threat with Mina.
It would be really awesome to be able to see them continuously pull from other promotions.
I agree. So here's where the hard matches come in for me, because a lot of things can go different ways. But this match I'm really excited for, especially with the history. So Takeshita versus Omega. Now, we know that in 2023, Takeshita at Double or Nothing, he turned on Kenny, joined the Don Callis family, and beat Kenny not only at All In, beat him at All Out within 6 days. Don Callis loves to rub it in our face that he beat him. But Takeshita, one of his very first matches was against Omega back in 2012, 2013. So they know each other very well. But this match now means something, because Kenny can create history here. He can be the first person in AEW to win his 4th title. No one has done that in AEW. He'd be the closest person to a Grand Slam champion as well. They've been really pushing Kenny a lot. So do you think Kenny Omega gets a new belt and starts back up to rise to the top, or do you think Takeshita finds a way to keep this belt a little longer?
No, I think Omega is going to come out with the win. Most definitely. He is a big part of that company to begin with. He has just gotten back, this would be like one of his major wins, so to speak. And I was also thinking, as you were talking, like, what if him and Orange Cassidy end up getting together if they win on their match?
That'd be a fun one.
And he's a winner too. So, but anyways, I was like, oh my God, they could have, matches 2 against 2. So, but anyways, I'm going to go with Omega. Mine's Omega.
I like it. All right. So, are we going with Takeshita retaining, or are we going with Omega getting a brand new belt?
Takeshita. I think that Don Callis family is the Don Callis family through and through. Unfortunately, that hot dog is going to make an appearance and screw up our night. But I think that this is going to be one of those matches that you can't walk away from the TV. You're going to be like needing to run to the bathroom, and you're like, not missing this.
Yeah, no, I definitely think this will be match of the year. But, I think you're going to be a lone wolf on this one too. And there's only one other person who voted on the predictions for Takeshita as well. So it might be Emily on this one. But I think the winner is someone who once traveled to the great state of North Carolina. I think Omega gets that belt. He gets one step closer to a Grand Slam champion, because they're trying to make him one of the big faces, not one of the big, but to show that he is Kenny Omega. He's come back with such a new push. I mean, he's got ridiculous pyro. Remember a few weeks ago, his pyro was going off and he's like sitting in the ring like, holy shit, like what's all this pyro going on for? The way they paired him right away with Ospreay, and they had that match in Australia, the story behind that. And then imagine Kenny Omega then taking the international title and putting on bangers. And it just shows this is the workhorse title.
Or better yet, this is Kenny working with all of the up and coming talent to be the ones to take over that role that him and the Bucks had 5 years ago.
Yes, but you have to look at it this way. Yeah, he putting over the uncount. But do you really have him go 0-3 to Takeshita because then he doesn't ever get his win back? I think you got to get that win, at least one of those 2 losses in a row.
They can go 7. They can go 5. They can go plenty more rounds.
Yeah, you don't want to span the booking. And I think it's going to lead to.
It's AEW. Did we not see the Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers 10
one
times?
One that was a best of 7. And it happened once, and I wouldn't recommend that again. It was a great series, but
sorry. We saw a best of 7 already once before. I don't doubt it ever again.
But it's not the
Mariah and Toni go 7. I'm here for it.
That's the thing. I think you have to have a special feud. And I don't think this is the feud to do that with. I think this is Kenny gets his win. Takeshita goes off and still wrestles around the world. But Takeshi's they got to put him in the next spotlight. They got to put him in the world title picture. He takes
that title belt with him. He's going around the world.
See, that's where we're going to disagree on this one because
I think Kenny's going to shine.
I think
you're not changing my mind.
I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just telling you. I'm not. See, Jeff's the only one that's agreeing with you. But I'm going to say Omega takes it because it's going to be Omega Okada at All In, and they're going to merge that title. That's the rumor that's going on right now. I can see Omega Okada for the unification of that belt. Like, may the best man win. Who's going to have that belt?
I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
I guess we will find out tomorrow. But
I just love Omega.
But I also can see more. I can see more of the point with the story of it. It makes more sense for Omega to win it.
I want my freckle nose.
You just want your Cinnabon man.
My little freckle nose Takeshita to take this.
Here's another one that's going to I definitely divide everyone. So we have Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. They both are tied up at 1 win apiece. 1 win apiece, not peach.
It's because you saw Harley.
I was going to say Harley came out. Wow. Anyway. Yep. That happened. We have a collision on in the background. So do you think Ospreay gets a win here and finally beats Fletcher and gets, takes advantage 2-1, or do you think Fletcher finds a way to win the steel cage match?
Why? I don't like Fletcher's king, Ospreay all the way. But I think that this match is going to be the best out of 7 type thing. I love how this is all built up. It's like brothers against each other, and may the best one win. And of course that's Will, because Kyle Fletcher, he's kind of the bad guy in this. So, but they wrestle so good together. So I think this is going to be the match of the night. I really do. I see it being the main one. So,
and Jesse putting the bar up there already, the greatest cage match in pro wrestling history. I could see that. If you watch Ospreay last year at New Japan, when he left New Japan and the United Empire had that cage match, that was bloody. And you know what? Ospreay is called the aerial assassin. So is he going to be the one that flips off the cage, or do you think Fletcher's going to flip up? Because someone's dying off this cage.
I just want to see them both. I think a lot of this match is just going to be heart. They have so much together that they've worked with each other with. They were in a tag team. They were apart. They've just been in the ring so much that chemistry is going to be on fire. And I'm really looking forward to that compassion that's going to go into this, that real true grit that's going to go into this match. Like
that sense of betrayal, the friendship, like the drama, all that.
Everything. This match right here, it just has such not even the story. It's literally that passion that's in them. They've grown up only wanting wrestling. Will talks about all the time how if it wasn't for wrestling, he doesn't know what he would even be doing. And
he said he'd be bagging groceries at Tesco, right?
Something like that. Yeah. Like he is so vocal about how much wrestling means to him. And he knows that Kyle is questioning that in a way. He took Kyle in. He helped him when he had nowhere to go during a pandemic. And Kyle just turns his back on him. Like, who are you?
No, I definitely
And
agree.
Mark Davis. This is going to be something that is very,
like
very
telling.
Snaps,
yeah.
I'm ready. Like, what does Callis have on him?
So
like,
who's your official pick? Ospreay?
Ospreay.
Yeah, I think it's unanimous. Again, everyone picking Ospreay in this one too. I think Ospreay, they're 1-1 between Wrestle Dream and World's End. They're 1-1. Ospreay's going to come out. It's not going to hurt Kyle Fletcher to take a loss here because he's already proven he can beat Will. I think he wins just because Ospreay, again, he's another one. They're shuffling pieces around the world title picture. They're shuffling people around the TNT title picture. Darby's going to come back. I could see that too. That was kind of what I was thinking too. Is Davis begins a feud with Kyle Fletcher because, like you said, he's basically being blackmailed to do their dirty work, and he doesn't really want to. He seems reluctant. So, no, I think those are all good predictions, and I agree. I think this is going to be one of the matches of the night of the year. But again, Omega, Ospreay, Fletcher, Takeshita, those 4 people are gonna all steal the show. Mariah May can steal the show. There's every match can steal the show in this card. I think that's why I'm excited. There's not one match on this card that can't be a match of the year contender if you look down the card, which is incredible.
And speaking of the best,
the Outrunners. That's right. Thankfully, the old beard grew back though. I'm not just a stash guy anymore.
There you go.
Did Jeff shave his head yet?
No. The hair is still there.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
The hair is still there. Yeah.
The commitment.
I can't forget walking out into the pool area and looking for you and then
Full
being
gear,
like,
you.
wait, I'm not gonna know what Jeff looks like right now. I was looking for familiar faces and I was like, he's not a familiar face at the moment. Where is he?
I agree with Jesse. This is probably one of the most stacked cards they've ever had. So
yeah.
Rachel, I already know what Jeff's answer is without him having to type it. I think I know what Emily's is, but do you think the Hurt Syndicate retains title, or do you think the youngest men alive are going to become the youngest, most vascular champions?
I think the Hurt Syndicate is going to retain.
That hurt my heart.
I think everybody would love to see the Outrunners win, but in all reality, I think their Hurt Syndicate's going to win because they're going to keep promoting them 2 boys and keep it going because they're going to end up going up against another 2 people, so yeah, I say the Hurt Syndicate.
That Hurt Syndicate's my heart. So Emily, are you going to break my heart too? Or are you?
I'm breaking it. Breaky away.
You guys are all breaking my heart in the comments too.
So as much as I love the Outrunners, I feel as though the Hurt Syndicate, MVP is going to interfere at some point, and so maybe it will be kind of like a couple years ago when the Acclaimed should have won. I don't know. I think that the crowd's going to be behind the Outrunners, but it's still going to be the Hurt Syndicate.
You know what? You're all haters, and I'm going with my heart. I'm not going with my head. This I'm going Outrunners. Put me Lone Wolf. I'm probably the only one.
Do you want me to try to change your mind?
No, you don't. I'm not trying. I never try to change your mind. I was not trying to change your mind. I was just giving you my valid points, just like you had valid points. We all have valid points. I'm just going with the Outrunners. I'm going with shock the world win because nobody would see it. I mean, nobody would see it coming. We all want it to come, but nobody would see it because you just said what has been on my mind. They didn't pull the trigger when the Outrunners, when Acclaimed were on fire and they were chanting for them. I think Outrunners, and again, yeah, you'll get the heel heat, but let's shock the world. I'm going with Outrunners.
What do the percentages say?
Listen, that's not important. But it says 80% to 20%.
That's not that bad.
It's not, but stats lie, okay? Listen, stats
maybe
lie.
They have some new gear to debut with this. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to look like.
Well, they do. They just were announced with new figures coming soon too. A 2-pack by Jazzware. So super excited for that.
We've been ordering a lot of those 2-packs lately.
I know. We got to stop. My bank account says stop. All right. Here's the one that is literally a 50-50 split on the predictions. The other predictions I've seen are 50-50 split. I think we're all going to have different answers. So do we think MJF gets win over Hangman, or we think Hangman gets win over MJF?
I figured that they would have somebody else in the feud with MJF. I would have never picked Hangman, Adam Page, ever. I see MJF pulling this one off.
I like it.
Hangman, Adam Page, he's always going to be. And I think MJF is trying to get back into it, So I think he's going to pull it off for sure.
I like it. All right. Do you think it's time for some cowboy shit, or do you think the devil is in the details?
I think it's cowboy shit.
All
I
right.
think that Hangman has put a lot of people over lately, and
He has.
MJF can afford to lose just as
He
much
can.
as Hangman can. I really, really just want them to really showcase, realizing that they haven't been in the ring together since 2020, mainly 2019.
Which is crazy. So
they've had one singles match, I believe. Maybe
yeah, the Dynamite.
two.
They had the Dynamite Diamond Ring match. Then you said they had the Dark Order versus Inner Circle in 2020.
Well, they had like big matches. Like they were in the first Double or Nothing Royale. They were in the first of a few of those types of matches.
They were the cornerstones, essentially.
Yeah, and then they had the match with MJF, Hangman, Perry, and
that Schmalz match. Yeah,
I forget who else was in
but
that.
I mean, think about how it all started. So like you just said, Double or Nothing, the very first Battle Royal. One of Emily's favorite matches of all time.
Mhm.
Hangman screws MJF out of the title shot. Bret Hart comes out, presents the belt. MJF comes out and basically buries Hangman and buries everyone else, saying he's the best. Hangman was one of the first people to win the title. It chapped MJF's ass. MJF's always kind of been behind and jealous of Hangman. So I think he gets to win just because Hangman needs that. He still needs that I'm not quite over my sins mentality, because he's kind of atoning for his sins now. He's kind of like realizing after he retired Christopher Daniels, it seems like he's had a change. Like maybe I've went too far. MJF will never stop going too far. And I think that's what's going to happen in this match. I think MJF's going to go too far. I think he's going to take out Hangman. And I think he's going to get the win because I don't think it's going to hurt Hangman. And I think MJF's that selfish shield that they're going to keep pushing to show that he doesn't lose. And when you do, it's a big deal.
So I'm waiting on Collision for something to come up with MJF being at Hangman's house or something. Because MJF made comments on Dynamite about these things.
Or even before the match. Who knows what kind of entrance he has.
Yeah, so I feel like this is going to be something pivotal for Hangman's mental state. I think that that's what's going to really crack, and he's going to go one of two ways. Does he go with the baby face that he's fighting being, or does he end up being the heel again? And does he go too far?
To go too dark? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like this is a turning point for Hangman.
Yeah.
I think that this match, the reason it's such an odd pairing because it's been so long is because we should have had this match in 2021, 2020. We should have had more of these, but it wasn't the right time. Waited.
It wasn't the right time.
They built both of them up. They're both top of the card. They're both big names, and both of them have been champions.
But look back at 2020 when you just said the Inner Circle storyline with MJF. It wasn't the right time for that because Hangman was going a different direction. MJF was trying to sneak Jericho. Because to me, that's what made MJF more of an asshole. But now Hangman, he tried to be the asshole. Him and Swerve realized, oh, fuck, we took everything too far. I agree. But he might have to channel some of that, like the death match he had with Moxley, where he hung Moxley. He didn't want to, but sometimes you just got to take it too far. And I think maybe you're right. Maybe that's what cost him. Maybe he tries to go far and MJF takes advantage because he can't capitalize. There's a lot that go, but I think that's why it's a 50-50 split because, like you said, we don't know. A lot of people are saying MJF, but I mean, look, a lot of people are saying Hangman too. So
Jeff's with me.
A split. I literally, it's a flip of a coin for me.
I think that this is match of the night.
Oh, I don't know if I agree. I think
it's been a long time coming.
Yes, but you have Ospreay in a cage with Kyle Fletcher. I don't know if that's going to top that.
That's going to be the one that you're
that's
not
a high bar
to leave.
But then again, then we have this one that's a no DQ. This one could be match of the night. This is the one I think is going to steal. That could.
So Revolution's typically always the best of the year.
It was the best last year.
They are just taking over.
And speaking of taking over, I know Rachel. We talked about this off air. It's the third match: Toni Storm versus Mariah. Toni Storm at the premiere Queen of the Ring, and who attacks her on the Hollywood red carpet? But Mariah May. They've been at each other's throat for 16 plus months now. So, do you think Toni retains, or you think Mariah gets her title back? And how do you see this Hollywood ending no DQ? Like, how do you see this playing out?
I don't think it's really going to be an ending. I think Toni's going to retain. She was very, very good at it. But I also think it's going to be a really good match because them two have worked together so much and so long that they know what's going on in the ring with each other and they like to play it up. So, but I'm going to go with timeless Toni Storm.
I like it. And Jesse's singing just like Emily, because I guarantee that was going to come out of her mouth in a moment.
I've been debating what pictures I want to put up for a graphic that I like to make, because I really want to go a little too far, but I don't know if Facebook's going to let me put the pictures I want to use up because they're pretty bad.
Probably not.
Yeah, so I think this match is going to be literally like it's everything we've been waiting for. I think the black and white aspect with the red is really going to shine through. The color. This match is going to be amazing. I'm hoping Mariah wears that white gear that has like the black swirls in it, because obviously when they wear white, you know what's going to happen. And Toni could definitely wear white as well. And I just think that kind of tells you more of a story when they are wearing white. Thank you, Matt Cardona, for teaching us things.
So this one is the only 100% certain one out of every single, even Mercedes, which I think it's Alex voting against it. 25 people, 100% of people said Toni Storm on this match. I have to agree. I think I'm going to go just like you guys. I think Toni retains. I think this is going to be a bloody. And I think there's going to be some cinematic. I think they're going to go backstage and they're probably going to have some things maybe pre-filmed. There's going to be some shenanigans. We're going to see a Luther cameo. And I think we're going to see some other cameos. I think they're going to call back to the heel, the shoot. It's just going to be violent. It kind of reminds me of when Hangman and Jake Hager were in the bar drinking, and then they fought. I think we're going to see some cinematic stuff like that. They keep saying the word Hollywood ending. They're in Hollywood. You know they're going to do something hybrid. I think it's going to be entertaining.
What if there's like different
Mariah retaining though?
If they go out back and there's like stage setups,
that'd be hilarious.
Like movie, how they
yeah.
I hope there's a walk of fame with wet cement. And someone gets their face in the cement.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
That would make my night just because it's fun. I agree. I think this could easily main event. I am not one of those people who thinks that it has to just be the world title. This is a women's world title. It could main event. I think depending on what angle you run for the world title, this should main event because they're in Hollywood. They're in the Staples Arena. It's a Hollywood ending. Toni and Mariah have had the best story probably in wrestling the past almost 2 years. Why not? But either way, I think we're going to get a great match. I just hope they position it on the card where it's not like, let's make it first and get it out of the way. I hope it's built up to, because this is one I think I'm looking forward to the most.
They built it up at a movie premiere. I don't see them,
rushing
going
it off,
short. Yeah, I think that they're really going to take their time on this story and this match especially. I had something to add to this, but I just really lost it.
Speaking of lost it,
story of my life.
We have Mox versus Copeland. Mox is now all alone. We have all the Death Riders taken out, and now we have Yuta, who's the one who hasn't been taken out. So there's a lot of wild cards here. There's a lot of story that can happen here. I think there's at least 5 or 6 different endings you can see. So Rachel, do you think Moxley retains the title? Do you think Copeland wins? Do you think shenanigans happens? How do you think this main event plays out?
Well, I definitely think there's going to be an interference. And I think it's going to be by all the Death Runners. I think they're going to come out. I understand that they're hurt, but I think somehow, some way, they're going to, get out there. But I see Copeland winning it. I think that he's better than Moxley. And I think that he hasn't had anything for a minute now. And I know it's time for him to retire. So I think maybe he's going to win it. I think take it away from Moxley.
I like it. Before you pick your point, I know you remembered your point for Mariah. What was your thing that you want to say for Mariah?
At Revolution, we've barely seen any women's matches. So the fact that there's 2 this year is a really big deal, actually.
And I also just want to point out that last year's at Revolution, Mariah came out dressed as Toni, and that's when the seeds started planting. So there'll definitely be some shenanigans and callbacks. So I agree with you. And yeah, 2 matches is great. 2 out of 10. That's not a bad
incredible.
thing.
Like just the simple fact that you're able to see more women's wrestling on Revolution when it is their best pay-per-view night. I like that. I hope that we get maybe Harley at some point with something. But
so do you think Mox wins for this one? Do you think Copeland wins, or do you think there's a schmoz finish? How do you see this playing out?
I think that I can't really predict other than Mox taking this. I think there's going to be a shit ton of shenanigans. I want to see Beth Phoenix finally come.
You've been saying
I
that.
say it every time Cope is in the ring. I don't care
This
if
is
it's
your
a
Motor City
Dynamite.
Machine Guns.
This is me hoping that we get some Beth Phoenix. Also, Chris Statlander made some amends, right? She's been
Willow,
like
yeah.
going back through people and like reconnecting. So what if Mercedes has Willow somewhere and we see Chris come out and help save Willow? That'd be kind of nice.
You mean Marina?
Yeah.
I was like, Mercedes. Okay. Yeah, no, like as retribution for getting the concerto.
Yeah, like I was thinking Martinez, sorry.
That's a hard part when there's a lot of similar names. I do the same thing. Hence why we have the pretty pictures now, so I don't go off traffic and go, by the way, this match. Oh wait, no, those two aren't even in the match. So you're thinking that Marina's gonna have Willow kidnapped and Statlander could save her?
Yeah, I just really feel like it would be kind of cool to see the women again in this, because that's what's driving me nuts about the whole Death Rider situation, is that you've had Marina going up against these guys, choking them out with her legs. Like, she's really been a beast with these men, but you have someone like Willow, you have someone like Chris. Let this happen. Like, put these women in there as well. Like, why are we not adding to the story with them?
I think there's still more. I think that's
intergender matches.
I think they're just teasing.
There's so much that they can do with this that's driving me
so
insane.
How I was Motor City Machine Guns, you're Beth Phoenix, he's Darby getting the title. I know Romero, he wants Darby, and I think that can happen. But I think, I put my tinfoil hat here, but I'm going to fully expand on how I think this could play out. I think Copeland does win. I think Copeland takes it to that dark place, like he kind of teased. He's already taken everyone out. He's shown Yuta. I think Yuta comes out. He's going to be afflicted, but I think ultimately Cope wins. When he wins, Christian Cage comes out. He gets ready to cash in, but the contract has to be signed for him to cash in. So I think Killswitch finally makes a return. And you think Killswitch is with Christian Cage, but he chokeslams Christian. He takes Christian out, and then Jay White's able to get the contract. And Cam agrees with me on this one. So Jay White picks up the contract, signs the contract, cashes in, and then gives a Blade Runner, turning on Copeland, taking the title for himself. That's how I see this ending. That's how I see Revolution. Jay White standing tall with the Bang Bang Boys, and everyone's celebrating with him because you've been waiting for them.
We've also been hearing Killswitch. So what if Revolution ends with all these different people just coming out?
Well, what do you mean? All these just like take?
You've got the Bang Bang Gang that you're predicting. Then you've got.
I think it would be too overbooked. We have too many people come out.
And then you've got the briefcase shenanigans. The briefcase shenanigans alone, that could cause so much.
Mox's briefcase or the contract?
The contract and the briefcase.
We don't even know
what if the briefcase is empty.
That's what I'm saying. We don't even know what's in the briefcase.
Nothing.
And what if he goes, "You want this title? You're gonna have to go find it." What if he hid the title somewhere? Like that's we don't know, but I think that it's gonna. I think Jay White leaves. So my winner for
official. What if the Bucks took it long time ago and that's why they ran? When we get to the bonus predictions, that's where I'm going to tell you where I Bucks theory. But this one, because it's the main event, again, for the record, Copeland winning, but at the end of the night, Jay White's champion. What is Jeff's take on this one?
I know we haven't heard his yet. So those are the main matches, but to end, we all have to give one of our, what we think out, either crazy prediction, bold prediction, tinfoil hat, whatever you want to call it.
I thought we've been doing that.
No, but we have to do one we haven't done yet. So like, what's one we haven't done? That's how I want to wrap it up, because I have one that I didn't touch on in the match because you reminded me of it. So do you have any debuts or returns, Rachel, or do you have anything like maybe that we didn't talk about or expected?
Well, I think there is going to be some coming back. I really hope that all the women, I hope it happens that way. That would be great. That would be wonderful to see them, be able to wrestle more. I think that there's going to be a lot of blood.
Yes. Especially Moxley involved.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of acting, a lot of blood. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some stars there as well. So
I really hope Kendrick's there, because Tony Khan will win me over forever if he brings Kendrick in just after Drake was at Elimination Chamber. I would die. They not like us. They not like. What about you, Em? What's your I mean, you kind of already talked about Kill Switch coming back. I know you want Kill Switch to turn to Luchasaurus again, which is valid. I think he should.
Yes.
But what do you think what's a tinfoil for you? What's something you didn't talk about that you think could happen? Do you think Camille comes back? Do you think the Renegades finally help Mercedes? Think Billy Starks gets involved? Like, put that tinfoil on.
I really don't have a lot for this because the person I want, like the thing I want to say, I think you're gonna touch on, so I don't want to take that from you. I guess I'm just excited to see, stupid as it sounds, that interference tomorrow. I'm excited to see where things are being prolonged and where things are ending. Are they actually going to end the Toni and Mariah story? And someone said it earlier in our comments, I believe, about do the worst of enemies become the best of friends again? Do we see Mariah and Toni bring this all back into a friendship again?
Like they beat themselves to it. Like we've already gone to the ends of the earth. We've gone to hell and back. And like there's no choice but to rekindle.
There's no one but us. We're the best.
Ooh,
what else do we do?
Imagine if that's what kickstarts the Women Tag Team Division.
I mean, they were great together. And we know that they look good in each other's gear.
So Maureen's kind of on the same page as us with the Bullet Club Gold. I think Switchblade is champ. I think Switchblade would be a great champ. So I posted a picture because I know Emily agrees with me. I think the Young Bucks are coming back. They live in Southern California. Nick Jackson just posted a picture. He made sure he had a Shaquille O'Neal LA Lakers jersey right in the background. They have their new vlog where they've been talking about traveling and they just traveled back to California. Mm-hmm. I think Okada's friends come back tomorrow night. I think the Bucks come back to help Okada. I think that's how Okada retains.
What if they come back and you hear Espresso come on?
Looking at me.
I will be so happy if we hear Sabrina in any way, shape, or form.
What if Sabrina's there?
I think crowd? She's touring out of the country at the moment. I believe that's what's going on. Okay.
So I think that would be interesting, especially here, because I think everyone will pop. But there's one more crazy thing. What do we think about if the Bucks come back? What if they join the Death Riders? What if Jack Perry joins the Death Riders? Because that's something no one's really brought up. Remember last time Moxley talked to Jack Perry, he goes, "I like this kid." Like a lot of people didn't like him, but he liked him. So
I could see that happening.
What if Jack Perry comes back and joins the Death Riders, and that's how Moxley retains? So there's a lot of crazy stuff that can happen. But I'm definitely excited for it, and I like that they did the bonus. They did the bonus content again because I was able to buy Dynasty and Revolution for like the same price, essentially. So it's basically like a BOGO. So I'm looking forward to it because I've already got 2 pay-per-views for the price of one. So I can't wait. And I think she found something with Sabrina Carpenter.
Just an update. She's actually performing at the O2 in London.
Okay, so she will not be there because that's like at least 7 hours away.
Yes. Unlike Taylor, they cannot phone a friend.
Well, I mean, Tony Khan does have a private jet. I'm just kidding.
At 5:30, she has a show.
Okay. But yeah, so
as much as I would love it.
Those are definitely, I think those are our predictions. I definitely had fun. I can't wait to watch this and talk about it. So I think it's time to wrap up and finish up Collision and get ready for our next set of shows and see what's going on.
Yes, I think we got to go finish up Collision. This match is fantastic. I keep getting so distracted because holograms in the ring.
Absolutely. But I want to thank you again.
To watch it.
It's so hard. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. You haven't.
Well, thankfully you haven't said anything much.
Yeah, we didn't really spoil.
But yeah. Thank you, Jeff, for being in the comments with us. And thank you again, Rachel, for always joining us for our our prediction show. See, I'm getting tired too. And
he didn't nap like I did.
I never nap. I need to learn to nap, but I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Hopefully our predictions are right. Who knows? Maybe Brody King will be a champion and Emily can tell me to eat shit tomorrow and that she was right. You never know. She wouldn't do that. She would just wink at me and be like, "Told you so." Or maybe we hear Espresso tomorrow night and you hear Emily scream all the way from North Carolina.
Very true.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Hope everyone has a great night. Remember, always
keep the kayfabe.